Hi Gemini, welcome to your weekly reading. Actually, this is a bi-weekly reading, I should say that. Gemini, if you are watching this video, you are my first ever upload to YouTube. I am super excited and super grateful for this opportunity to start something new and be able to be of service here on YouTube. Tarot is an incredibly important part of my life, and so I'm really grateful to be able to share that. If you would like, for as of right now, I post weekly horoscopes on Instagram. My Instagram is the same name, Sarah Moon Rising Tarot, or at Sarah Moon Rising Tarot, and so you can hop on over there. Probably, I'm not sure how long I'll be doing the weeklies there, but that's my main tarot avenue as of right now. So definitely go and check that out while you wait for the other signs to come out. Like I said, this is a bi-weekly reading, so this is for the end of July. This is being filmed on the 20th of July, 2020, but that does not mean that it only applies for around that time. There are no dates. This is not time specific. This is meant for you when you find it. So please keep that in mind. I think it's really beautiful. I'm using the Spellcasters deck, which was the first deck that I ever had. So I figure, why not for YouTube, my first ever YouTube video, use this deck. And also, I'm about to do the air signs for my Instagram page. However, I am a Gemini sun, so I also figured, why not do the Geminis first? Be a little bit biased. I'm still testing out the sound and stuff, just because I think I'm probably going to end up using a microphone. So, just want to light a little sage. In honor of a new beginning here. Thank you so much for being with me. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for finding me. Thank God and the universe for you finding me. And I'm really happy that you're here. I already pre-cleansed the deck, but give it a little boost. Okay. So we're tapping in for Geminis. Gemini, this can also be for Sun, Moon, and Rising. Your Sun, Moon, and Rising Gemini. To make sure this still records. Okay, what are the messages that are needed for Gemini at this time? What are the messages that are needed for Gemini in love and in service at this time? What are the messages for Gemini, please? Oh, somebody also flipped, so there's a little bit of a bonus card, which is fine, and that's a beautiful energy to have as the bonus card. Okay, so, oh my gosh, before While I was talking, Judgment was at the bottom of the deck, so that's so beautiful that that decided to come back up. So, it looks to me, Gemini, that there may be something that you are finally starting to see that you don't like, but you're almost reluctant to see it. You may be realizing that something needs to change or that you're stuck or stagnant, but that you're not really ready or you're not really willing to make that change just yet. Maybe you're waiting for another season or another cycle of some kind. I know personally for me, I'm kind of in a flux period right now. I need to make a decision about something, and I'm almost wondering if maybe it's best to push it off to the fall. So something like that. So you might, but at the same time, I want to mention that it's very possible that you're feeling like you don't want to acknowledge this or you don't want to face it. And oh, okay, well, first of all, let me just start by saying, so first card in this row is the Two of Swords in reverse, the World in reverse, and the Tower in reverse. So that kind of, that Tower in reverse is kind of telling me that there's an avoidance of either letting something fall away or an avoidance of acknowledging that something needs to move, needs to shift, needs to change, and that very well may be you. For some of you, it could be an instance where you are kind of, the phrase sitting pretty is coming in. You're kind of like, you're comfortable right now, you have everything you need, possibly financially, but maybe you're just very secure in your surroundings right now. And you don't necessarily want to rock the boat, or you don't necessarily want to make this big change because it might be challenging, or it might you might go through one of those phases where things fall apart before they come together. You know, all the pieces have to fall down, you know, all the pieces of the tower have to crumble before they can be rebuilt in a new place. I also want to mention that this could very well be what is happening in our society right now. We are experiencing the crumbling period of the tower where things are kind of falling apart, but they in some ways need to fall apart in order to be rebuilt. And that's just a really good way of looking at things sometimes, because it can be really saddening to see that crumbling happen. But if we know that it's happening in an attempt by the universe to move us in a better direction, then there can be a little bit more hope in that area. So again, take it as it resonates. I should have mentioned in the beginning, these are obviously general readings. They're not personal, so you can take what works and leave the rest. So again, this could be something that you're seeing in your personal life that you know needs to change, and you're just like a little bit hesitant to let that fully like whoosh, like fall out. Or this could be what you're watching happen on the world stage right now. Either way, it's not really a good idea to avoid the tower, but at the same time, sometimes the tower falls without our permission, so it might happen anyway. But this is also just one part of this. So moving on, second row, we have the Five of Pentacles in reverse, we have the Eight of Pentacles in reverse, and we have the Chariot. So for me, this is talking about this. It's so interesting, because I think that this is going to resonate for people on a sorry, I keep putting my hand in the way. On a global level as far as what's happening in the world right now, but I do believe that there were some of you who either lost a job or stopped working or were let go, that kind of thing, that led you to having this fear-based mentality, possibly around money. But I don't feel that that has lasted too long. I think that was temporary. Some of you may have been able to receive benefits, or some of you may be still in that situation where you're unsure about money and where money is going to come from at this time. For others, this could have been something else that was essential to your life that was either taken away. It could have been a significant relationship that, you know, has what is the word? It starts with a D. I want to say diminished. That's the word that I keep. Maybe, you know, maybe it's just its role in your life was just diminished. Maybe that's why that's coming through. But I see here with the Chariot that this was possibly something that brought you either to like more self-assurance or more confidence in yourself or more freedom to do something different, or freedom with your time, which again could be for a lot of people, as you know, we were asked to stay inside for a while, and in some places maybe that's still happening, but you know, maybe you were able to pick up a hobby or start a business from your home or something like that. I know a lot of people got really crafty during this time. So although this may at first glance look like something that's not positive, it might have actually spurred you in a direction to do something new or do something more aligned with who you are, more aligned with your personality. Some of you may have gotten into astrology, may have gotten into tarot. Whatever it is, I feel that it was by design. I feel like it was the universe's will for you to have that experience. And I do think that that is part of the shift that we are experiencing right now, that although there's really a lot going on, I think some people or a lot of us are being called to create the new earth. And so we're seeing old ways of being and old systems and old paradigms perish in order for the new to be reborn. And I think that's happening on a collective scale as well as on a personal scale. And I think this is a really beautiful reading because, okay, so we're moving into the next row and we'll talk a little bit about where this goes from here. So the Queen of Swords, upright, beautiful energy. Also, for me, that's a Gemini card. The King of Pentacles in reverse. And the Three of Wands also in reverse. So I definitely see some challenges coming up, but I see them being things that there is no doubt, there is no doubt in my mind that they are not things that you can overcome. I see, well, what I want to say is don't take anything for granted at this time. Don't take, like, I don't know why, but this phrase has been coming to me in personal readings as well as just in my own life, but the phrase, don't look a gift horse in the mouth. And I have a funny story about that, but I'll try and keep it brief, which is just that the phrase, from what I've been told, I am notorious for getting expressions wrong. And the phrase meaning, the real meaning is that back in the day, if you were given, I don't really know what century this dates back to, but if you were given a horse as a gift, don't look in its mouth. And this is so ridiculous, because the teeth might give away how, like, it might be representative of its health, and that it's not really in good condition, but it's a free horse, so just don't go there. Just take it for what it is and be grateful and move on. What I thought the expression was that there was this benevolent horse that was a gift-giving horse. Oh, sorry. And it went around giving gifts to people in like old folklore or something, and that it don't don't look it in the mouth, as in like don't talk back to it, like don't sass the gift horse that's giving you these gifts. So however you want to look at it, whether you want to look at it the traditional way or my version, which I kind of have just adopted as the better version, don't take these things right now for granted, because I think you're going to come up against a little bit of stuff dealing with your confidence. So it's like surfing the balance between like being super confident on one hand and then being super confident and almost egotistical on one hand, versus being like completely shattered and low self-esteem on the other hand. And it's, we always want to surf somewhere in the middle and be really confident and happy and self-assured, but that can also lead to some, not like going to the extreme of that energy can lead to some pain if we're not careful. And I'm seeing like, because of the Three of Wands here in reverse, I'm seeing that maybe some plans might have to be rethought or reimagined, or really just that, nothing good ever comes easy. And that if you are attempting something new, if you are going for a new endeavor or a new project or a new career, even after the collapse of an old one, that there's going to be trials, there's going to be tribulations, there's going to be things that are not working or not working temporarily and may have to be reimagined or rethought out. Also, I want to point out that Mars right now is in Aries, which is an amazing energy for pushing forward and in our actions and in things that we're desiring and things that we want to manifest. However, Mars has its retrograde in September, so there's a possibility that some of these plans that we're laying the groundwork for right now will need some fine-tuning come September. That's just a little bit of a hunch or a suspicion that I have based on this reading. But at the end of the day, which was the extra card that I didn't think was going to come, or that I didn't really know had flipped on its own in the deck, is the Fool. And so I think it would be, no pun intended, I think it would be foolish not to take this opportunity and not to really go for it and trust that the universe has your back. That's really what one of the things that is so important to remember about the Fool is that they are so just living in spiritual contentment that they trust that when they jump off that cliff that they're going to be taken care of. And something also is telling me that this may lead to a little bit, it's almost like, what is the word? Like a symbiotic relationship. Like this, your confidence that you have innately is going to lead to your success, but this success is also going to lead to your confidence, as well as some healing, possibly for some healing in terms of like sexual healing. I'm not necessarily getting trauma, but that could apply for some. I'm more so getting a sense of like just maybe shame around sexuality, or fears around intimacy, or new levels of self-love and confidence and body positivity within ourselves or within yourself. So that's something to take into consideration, that even though you can't, maybe right now, you can't see how all of this from before is going to work in your favor. I think if you continue to trust not only yourself, but trust God and the universe, you may be pleasantly surprised, and in a couple of months or maybe next year, look back at this time and think, wow, I had no idea that, let's just use an example, by losing my job, or by having that breakup, or having that, traumatic event happen that shook up my life, that I would also gain X, Y, and Z. That happened for me last year, and it's, of course, things happened as well for me this year, but last year I had an incident where God was just like, nope, and like kind of collided with me and pushed me off in a completely different direction. And I am so glad that that happened, because I was not even aware of how much I needed it. So always remain open to the possibilities that are available to you, just by in events that seem insignificant at the time, but are really these moments in disguise. And also, judgment is here at the bottom, which I think is so incredible and was so made for you, because you are loved and protected and taken care of. And I particularly, I'm sure I'm going to talk about this a lot as time goes on with these videos, but I love this image of judgment. This is my favorite image of judgment, because she's here, down here, like in the flames of it all, just like completely consumed by what's going on around her. And she has her eyes covered. She can't see what's going on. And what's going on is that her soul, in a way, is being, what I call this anointing, like the hand of God has come down to anoint her and make her holy, and show her that she is one in God's image. And I just think that this is one of the most beautiful representations of this card that I've ever come across. And I really think that it's important for you to keep that in mind at this time, especially because this card peeped out a second time. It's just beautiful. You have so many beautiful things to look forward to. Again, I don't want to negate some of the stuff that's over here, that just be cautious of resting on your laurels, kind of, when it comes to action, and not procrastinating, and also not if you're starting a new endeavor, really then endeavor to make it something that's full of integrity and love, and being of service in any way that you can for others, either in your community or sending prayers out into the world. I think through, and I really don't plan on bringing, outside issues into my readings, but I think it's not a coincidence that we're starting to see so many things right now playing out, so much corruption and lies being brought to the surface. And so I think we're shifting into a new paradigm of really being full of love and honesty and truth, and walking in the way of truth. And so whatever you're endeavoring to do, just, check in with yourself and make sure that you're not asking for the world without, attempting to give the world back. And obviously the world kind of sounds like a massive quantity, but, always make sure that you are giving in reciprocity, and not just taking, but also giving back. I think that's a really important message for you guys for the future. Um, so I hope this reading was helpful. I hope it resonated. I am so grateful to be doing this, to be taking my readings onto YouTube. And I look forward to getting to know everybody on here. I've been part of this community for a while as a viewer, and I'm really looking forward to getting to know everyone as a reader. So if you've tuned in, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for sticking around. I'm a little bummed my candle went out, but these are homemade beeswax candles, and I haven't really been able to figure out the right wick situation, so they burn out pretty quick. But anywho, yeah, so I'm going to continue with the air signs. I'm not sure who's going to be next, either Libra or Aquarius, but that'll be out later this week. Again, you can follow me on Instagram if you'd like. I post weekly horoscopes every week, all 12 zodiac signs. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to getting to know everybody. Okay, bye for now, Gemini.